let's talk about the ongoing discussions between the NHL and the NHLPA. Now, I want to start with this. The fact that the NHL and the NHLPA are talking about the collective bargaining agreement right now is great. I am very happy that they're talking about it because we're still a ways out from it actually expiring, potentially in 2020. And that there doesn't seem to be any major issues right now that either side is looking at and saying, that is our cross to bear, and if we don't get that, we're out. So, both players and owners. Now, it came out today, there will be no World Cup of Hockey in 2020. Speaking as a guy who covered the World Cup in 2026 or 2016, good. I didn't like the format. I thought it was silly. Here's the NHL statement. The NHL and the NHLPA had another constructive meeting today in Toronto, while the parties have now jointly concluded that there is no longer realistic to try to schedule a World Cup for the fall of 2020. They plan to continue their dialogue with the hope of being able to schedule the next World Cup event as part of a broader agreement, which would include a long-term international event calendar. International event calendar, Olympics? The idea being, players say, well, we'll do the World Cup thing, but you got to let us go back to the Olympics. And maybe the owners are like, okay, but you got to let us kind of monkey with the contracts a bit and drop these signing bonuses, which is part of the rumor. And the players then saying, all right, but you got to do something about escrow and you got to do something about our pensions. So, again, if they can sit down and continue to talk, this is all stuff they can work through. The NHLPA statement said the players are focused on finding the proper time to schedule the World Cup of Hockey within the context of an overall international hockey calendar. While we in the league have discussed the possibility of holding the next World Cup in September 2020, we jointly concluded that it is unrealistic to expect that preparations for the event would be completed in time. We look forward to continuing our discussions with the league. And then they say here, World Cup of Hockey in 2016, the finals was Team Canada defeated Team Europe for the championship. And Team Europe being in the finals just showed me why it wasn't a World Cup. I think, the idea of having a World Cup of Hockey sounds great, but really, honestly, we don't have the kind of participation on the level of soccer/football that has the World Cup every 4 years there, which is amazing. I love that World Cup so much. But, I'm not upset about the World Cup not happening. I'm glad that they're jointly releasing statements. I'm glad that that's still happening and that we haven't reached a stage where they walk away. Nothing has frustrated me more with each lockout when I've seen both sides going, yeah, well, we don't agree on things, but we're going to meet next month. Well, we're kind of far apart, but we're going to meet in 6 weeks. And as a fan, all I want to say is, why don't you guys lock yourselves in a room and come out when there's an agreement? Because the closer you guys get to that cutoff date to when we're going to have a lockout, the angrier I'm going to get at both sides. So the idea is at this stage, maybe we're okay. Maybe we won't see a lockout. So for right now, fingers crossed. If you were looking forward to your World Cup of Hockey jerseys in 2020, if Adidas had this whole line planned, they'll just have to kick that can down the road a little bit. I'm not upset. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. I don't have a problem with canceling it because then it seems to mess with the NHL schedule, back things up, and just I'm not a fan. And again, and I'm one too that the whole Olympics thing, I'm like, skip it. But that's me, right? Anyways, I would be interested to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you bummed over losing a World Cup thing, or are you not upset over losing the World Cup thing? Let me know what you guys think. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just tap it upon this video, and hey, maybe we won't get a lockout this time, which would be the first time in so very long. But right now, it looks good because they're talking well in advance of the deal expiring. Thank you, NHL. Thank you, NHLPA, for behaving like adults to this point. Let's hope it keeps up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.